Hey folks, this is Tony with the Kayak store, and I wanted to show you guys something. Had a customer come in the other day and said, "Hey, I want you to put some lights on my boat." So he brings his Blue Sky in and says, "I want to get some Yak Power lights on it." So hey, sure, why not? I'm not going to go into really the lights itself. I mean, there's a lot of good videos out there, but really what I wanted to show you guys is kind of how I did the, if you want to call it, the wire management, the going from that side of the hull over here into his hatch where his power supply is. I wanted something clean. I wanted something that was waterproof, especially. I want to make sure that everything was nice and dry. So this is kind of what I came up with. A little system like that. Just kind of comes out of one side and goes down in the other. But here's what actually, I guess the materials list or what I used. Just went to the home improvement store. Got some 3/4 inch PVC. I wanted to use 1/2 inch, but a lot of the wires wouldn't fit through there, so I ended up going 3/4. And then these little slip fit fittings. This has got a threaded slip fit here, and then a 90-degree with the threaded here. And what I use to make this watertight is the number 18 O-ring, and then just a little conduit lock nut. So put these on the ends, put the O-ring in, and then had the lock nut, and then the elbow actually went, you can see that right there. You got the O-ring and then the elbow, and then of course the threaded part and the lock nutters down below. This was one of the conduit boxes I was going to use, but it ended up being a little bit big. But what I did is I drilled a hole. I started out with a 1 inch and then used a Dremel to just kind of open it up just a little bit more, so this would thread in. So this little threaded piece would just make a really tight fit in here. So just about 1 1/8 inches, maybe a little more, little less, depends on how tight you want to thread that in there. So what I did is I ran all the wires, or the wires for the lights on that side. I punched them up through this little piece of conduit, through the conduit, and then I got a little junction box here, ran the wires through, and then this is actually the outlet for his fish finder. So he's got a little plug there, and there's room for more if you wanted to put more there. And of course it has, a nice weather tight box or top that'll go on top of it. And then it continued to run the wires down here and then through this part of the hull. I like this just because it was really flat, easy to work with. And then all the wires are down here, and it's not in a big knot, a big mess. I actually tied them up nice and neat and wrapped everything together. But there's his power supply and his relay and all that. So he's good to go. Flip the switch, and what I did is we weren't sure where to put his switch or his control, so he just said, "Hey, look, put it on the inside of the lid." So I used a hose clamp, had a little Dremel slit right there on two sides, ran the hose clamp through there, and it's nice and snug. So we're just gonna turn the lights on. He's got his greens, and then he's got his blues for his night. So, what I did with the lights, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of good videos out there. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel or show you guys how to put the lights on. They were the easy part. I just wanted to show you guys kind of how I went from point A to point B. It's clean. More importantly, it's waterproof. Of course, I did put a little goop underneath there just to make sure, but it's nice and tight. The customer absolutely loves it. He is on his way right now to pick it up, but it turned out really well, and all it took was just a little trip to the home improvement store and picked up a couple things, and really this kind of stuff, I mean, I'm going to use this a lot because I mean it turned out really, really well as far as being watertight, really tight fitting as well. So I'm kind of digging this right here, but anyway, just kind of want to give you guys a hey, this is how I did it kind of thing on the Blue Sky. Use it, improve it, whatever you guys want to do, but it worked for me. The customer loves it, and I thought it was a pretty good idea. So I may end up using it in some other applications. But hey, we appreciate you watching, and have fun.